Alright, Micromod Dude here again with a special unboxing of my new Brothers printer MFC-J1010DW. So it's a color printer, multifunctional, which is kind of neat. And definitely wanted to find a color printer for my daughter for her school, which we had one that was old and the cartridges were not, the printer head wasn't working. So I needed something newer. Read some good reviews about Brother that they have really high quality products. And the main thing that drew me to this one was it was a decent price, about 86 bucks. That's at the box with taxes and everything. And the printer cartridges are dirt cheap. So some of the other printers that are like color printer, low budget ones, the printer cartridges are about 30, 40 bucks each for like the color and black. You could get these little ones here for like 7 bucks each, or a pack, generic ones for like 17, 20 bucks. So that's what drew me to this. You know, I don't want to blow a lot of money on cartridges that cost a lot. So some of the other brands I just wasn't satisfied. So I found this one. Originally I'd ordered it on Amazon, but then they were like back ordered like 2 months. So I finally found this on Staples with a $30 coupon. So I got it for about $79 plus taxes and all that. So yeah, it's pretty good because, you know, it's multifunctional, which is great. You know, you got all the different options to fax and, you know, use all your on your network. And some just quick things here, you know, print, copy, scan, fax, which is kind of neat. So it's got more than I really bargained. I just wanted a basic because I already have a fax machine with my regular laser printer that's just black. But, you know, it's got a few other things here that you can, you know, play around with, it's just, so you can just look at the different specs and look at the descriptions online. And what's this Easy Fresh? So I'm not sure what this Easy print subscription is. So refresh, Brother, and ink toner. So some kind of subscription, which I don't know. I haven't really looked at that before, so we'll have to look at that. Let's see what else we got over here in the box. Any more information that we might need here. So just basic information there. On that side, Windows compatible. It's got compatible with the Apple Air Print and Apple Air Print. You know, whatever. Same thing over here. And that's pretty much it at this point. And so let's open it up and let's see what else we got inside the box. Okay, so after opening it up real quick here, this comes real quick. So it's got get started with your mobile connect, print with confidentiality, blah, blah, blah. So, you know, whatever. Well, that's there. And then, of course, this thing's pretty massive. So we'll see how I take it out of here. It's got the, can't get that off. So it's got this here. It's got some cabling here. All right, put that to the side. Take the top part off there. Throw that over there. And of course, you see the printer right in there. So let's lift this bad boy up. See how I can do this. Oh, okay. Oh boy. Okay, it's not too bad. Okay, not too bad. Not too bad at all. Okay, so here's the printer. Of course, inside the box. You got a few other things there. Put the big box to the side. Okay, so let's see if you can see it or not. So it's not too bad. I thought, you know, it's not small, but it's not huge either. Of course, here you got the, so it's got a, you know, for your fax machine there, which is kind of neat. And you got over here the different instructions on how to get it started. So you see how it has the different cartridges. I love that. And let's look at here. Of course, here we got the cable. So let me just undo the plastic. Okay, so now I took it out of the box, and it actually looks pretty nice, I'll be honest. Doesn't look cheap at all. I mean, of course, normally I think the price is like $110 for this, $120. Got it for $79, so got a really good deal on it. So it's got your basic, you can scan anything you want right there. It's got the feeder on the top here to feed paper. You know, so that's kind of neat about it. And then it's got pretty much, this goes up here. So you can kind of look at the LED a little bit better there. And then, of course, here's a tray. Now the tray is interesting because on the tray here, basically you want to basically move this out. And there's a method to do this. Let me see, I think you have to lift this one up maybe. Well, let me see. Let's pull this up here. There's a method for this that I saw online, how to get this pretty much done. So I think it's right here. So you kind of push this in and this goes back and forth. This, if you don't, let go, it locks it in. You want it all the way out because that's for the most paper. Of course, you can align that if you want. So there's that part there. Of course, that slides in on the bottom. Really easy. Then over here, you got your cartridges. Of course, looks like, well, it didn't come with any cartridges. Let me see. I'm not seeing any. Maybe I missed it in the box. Let me check the box real quick here. So I think the cartridges should be in here. So these are really, really basic cartridges. I like these this style of cartridges because pretty much, these are like dirt cheap on Amazon. I mean, you can get these for like $7 each. So if you run out of one color, you could just pretty much, replace one. Of course, I've seen some of the kits for like $20. So if you just want to get the whole kit. But usually, most of the time when I've had this kind of printer before with these type of cartridges, it's basically one of them runs out. So you don't have to order the whole thing. You just order one. So I love this. And of course, this will go over here. Let me zoom in a little bit here. Oop, the wrong way. So let's go over here. So let's see how this goes. Haven't played much with this yet, so I know this has to come out. So this just pops out real quick as a placeholder for your. You probably want to keep this in case you ever want to store it, because it's got little plugs there to plug the different inkjets. And then of course we got over here the different colors. Magenta, cyan, and yellow and black. So basically we could go ahead and start putting those in. So the first one, cyan. So let's see how easy this is. So we just undo this real quick here. And of course, I mean, this doesn't really show anything else, like any other plugs. Nothing you need to do. Maybe I misread something here. Let's see. So it doesn't really say nothing. Open the cartridge prior to using. Yeah. I mean, there's not much. So it's just plug and play. So this is for the magenta. So magenta will go right in here. Plugs right in like that. What's the next one? Cyan. So it's really basic. So I'll go ahead and put these in real quick. And of course, this is the black one. I already got the other ones in. This is a little bit thicker. So you got a little thicker cartridge for the black one. It's like double. So you get double the cartridge for black and just pop it back in. So it's really basic. I love it. It's really easy to replace the cartridges on this. So, that right there is a really good form factor. Next thing we need to do is basically, let's plug it in and let's see what it does. All right, so I'm going to plug it in. Well, you know what? Let's go over the back real quick before. So what do we got in the back over in here? So in the back, basically, we got, well, it's got it covered. So let's uncover this real quick here. Okay, let's uncover this. And what else we got here? Let's see, so this plugs in. Then, of course, you got a back feeder too. So that's interesting. It's got a back feeder. So maybe if you want maybe some kind of other accessory that this will slide onto, that's kind of neat. Of course, on the side here, you got your, all right, so you got your, let's see, this is your phone jack right here. You got your phone jack and then your phone jack extension. So this one doesn't have Ethernet cable. So I think if you want the one with the Ethernet cable, like the old school, basically, you got to get the model up that costs about $30 more. So this one says, so this does have a USB connection right there. That's interesting. So I guess it's in here. You have to lift this up for the USB. Okay, look at that. So you lift this up, and where is the USB at? Oh, inside here. So I don't know if you can see that. That's a weird spot for USB. So you got, basically you want to run your USB cable all through here. Ooh, let me go back out. So you're going to run, USB. This will go to your computer if you want to plug it straight to your computer. Right there like that. So that's very, very interesting how that's set up. Ooh, how do I get this back down now? Well, this is kind of weird. I don't want to break it. Okay, so I just turned it on. And let's see what it shows there. So it's probably going to, it's going to probably align and do some alignment and stuff. So So I don't know if you can see what it's saying there or not. It says, preparing the ink will take about 4 minutes. While preparing the ink, you can proceed with the initial setup. Press next. Okay. So where's the next? Right here. Where's next? Next. Okay. The year. Oh, look what year it thinks it is. All right. Well, we're in 25. Okay. What's next? No, it doesn't let me go next. Okay. Month. Okay, we're in the month of August. So 8. Okay, August. Day. What day are we today? All right, so he's actually the 11th. Okay. AM or PM. Of course, we're in PM. Okay. Time. Okay, well, let's see the time. All right, so 3:27 p.m. 3:27. Okay. Information on the firmware updates can be displayed by automatically. Press yes. Okay. Accepted. All right. So it's got a little setup to do there. So you're definitely gonna have to do this if you're a first timer. If you expect this to be plug and play, forget about it. You're gonna have to do a little bit of setup on this. So as you see, it's gonna just initialize and go through the motions there. All right, we'll wait for this. Okay, so now it wants me to load the paper and press start. So let's zoom out a little bit here. Let's load up the paper. Let's see. So let's see how we load this paper up. It's kind of odd. So you got to lift this up here, and see if you can see it or not. So I'm gonna lift that up, put the paper in there. Make sure it's all the way in nice. Where's the bottom one? It didn't go all the way in. Okay, put that in. So it's kind of weird because you can't really tell from here that basically like it's slow on paper. So it's kind of everything's hidden. So that's kind of a bummer, but it is what it is. So let's continue to see what else it says here. We'll zoom in a little bit so you guys can see here. So it says load paper and press next. So we're going to press next. All right, print out. All right, so it's going to print now. So let's zoom out a little bit so you guys can see. It's going to do a test. Oh, it spit it right out. Wow, it went flying on the floor. So I forgot to pull this out. Oh, I guess you pull it like this so you can basically capture the paper, because this thing, you saw how it flew out. But this is pretty much what it printed out here. It says, let's read it together. All right, so it says, check the dotted lines forming the 4 colors. Blocks are all visible with no gaps, so you can see, they all look pretty decent. What do you think? It says if streaks are still visible, even if the 4 colors blocks are correct with no gaps, please try the correct paper feed function from the maintenance menu. So everything looks good. It tells you right there a couple things. So yeah, looks like it's pretty good so far. And then let's look at what it says in here now. So it's got a little bit more detail of what it says. Let's see if we can see it or not. Let's go deeper so you guys can see this. So as results below, good results is below. Are there any dotted lines missing? So you press the right arrow, it looks good. No, actually no, so I want to hit no. Hit the right arrow. Left arrow, Print head, all right, paper just. Best print quality, we recommend checking the print alignment. Start, okay, let's start the print alignment. Let's just get it all out of the way. I guess it's letter. Okay, load the paper on the tray. All right, so I guess it's gonna do an alignment next. We'll see how long this one takes now. Hopefully not too long. So it's just finishing up the alignment there and spitting it out on the bottom. It's a slow process, so you know, give yourself some good time when you're setting this up, because good 20-30 minutes maybe max for that, because it's definitely a little bit of a process for this to get done. Okay, so I finished the alignment, and okay, so it printed this first. So interestingly, look at what this says now. So it's doing a whole like setup. I've never had to do this with a printer before. So it says place the sheet on the glass, paper adjustment. So that's very interesting. So this is pretty much what it printed out, and it wants us to put it on the glass now. So if I remember correctly, it's got to go on the top left corner for the proper spec, and then let's see what else it tells us to do here next. So, I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Okay. It says place the sheet on the glass. Oh, it's there. And then press down, I guess. Press right to continue. Okay. So now it's scanning it. This is definitely not for the rookie. So, if you're an old folk that wants a nice printer, I mean, this one's a little bit more complex, but I think, if you go through this setup, it'll basically be better for you in the long term, because it'll be aligned and ready to go, top notch. Brother doesn't play around, that brand. All right, now it says completed. To check the print alignment later, press from OK. Well, it says to check, to press later. I don't know about later. What else we got? So it's complete. Okay, so let's go next. Let's go next. Okay. Let's see. Visit brother. Okay, so now it's got a website to go to. Setupbrother.com web page to connect your computer or mobile device. So that's interesting there. So we'll have to do that later, because I'm using my phone for this right now. Let me just actually get my other device to take a picture of this. And that's pretty much it. I mean, you saw that, so that pretty much set it up. So I still got to set up the Wi-Fi and everything. I'll have to see how to do that. I wonder if that web page it told me to go to, see if it lets me do it there, which I'm going to do real quick here and see if it does anything. In that website, it was telling us to go to the setup.brother.com. It's just going to have you download the drivers and stuff there, so you could follow that at this point. So, I just wanted to do a quick overview of this. I still got to set up the Wi-Fi settings and all that. I'll have to play with it a little bit more for that. And once I do that, maybe I could do it from my tablet. Let's see. Okay, so I basically downloaded the app that it was telling me to go to on the web page. So let's see what this says here. Instant remote access to your machine, print, scan, blah, 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 blah. Check status, view your machine status page. Okay, all right. Easy setup, get started. Agree with all the legal stuff. Okay, let's see what it says here. Notifications, allow. All right, so let's see what this does here. Wants me to log into my brother account, which I don't have one yet. Okay, so I basically had to do the sign up, so I signed up. So this is a new update. New update was installed already. Okay, next part here. Let's see. When your machine is fully connected to Wi-Fi or air LAN network, add your machine to the app. Connect your machine. So I need to connect it to Wi-Fi. So let's do that first. All right. So it wants to know where I'm at. Whatever. I don't even care. Now it wants enter the machine name and model. So let me do that real quick here. Okay, so now that I put the model in, it wants me to press and hold the Wi-Fi button for more than 2 seconds. So I guess here's the Wi-Fi button, 1000, 1000. See if it does anything. Okay, connected 2 seconds and do nothing. Well, web. It says Wi-Fi right there, right? 1,000, 2, 1,000. Okay, there it is. See that? It says establishing connection. Then over here on my tablet, I gotta confirm. Okay. So now it's searching. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see that or not. So it's searching there. Then it found it, allow to join. Okay. Still searching. Connected. All right, so this is allowing Wi-Fi. Allow. Okay. So now it's connecting it. So it's going to probably ask me to put in my my Wi-Fi name and password probably. Yeah, so let me do this real quick. All right, so I put the password in. It's now connecting right there. Connecting your mobile device to the machine. Set up Wi-Fi on the machine. All right, so this is good. So basically, I mean, that way everybody could just see it on the network easily from any device, from a tablet, laptop, cell phone, computer, whatever you got. Okay, so let's see what this does. Okay, now it's grabbing some other information here. Let me see what this says. Okay, so it's just finishing up. So basically, what happened here? Authenticate, can't authenticate. Error message. Wi-Fi connected. It says connected, retry. So it says some kind of connection error. We'll have to continue. Garage door opened. Yeah, okay, there it is. Authenticating your machine. Yes. Okay, so there it is. So it's pretty much connecting now. That's pretty much it. It's registering your machine to your brother account. And I think that's pretty much it. You know, you can see now the little Wi-Fi shows connected. So, you know, you got to basically go to that setup.brotherapp.com, whatever, that website to download the app and get your own device configured, okay? But I think that's pretty much it. You know, that's all we got there. It's finishing the setup. You know, it's going to finish registration, and that's it. So there it is. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Again, this is the Brother MFC-J1010DW. Make sure you, hit the notification bell to get more reviews, and make sure you hit the like button. Until next time, peace out.